In part two of this series, I just gave you a quick overview of the bathroom in this tiny cabin. It's a 28 square foot bathroom now. In this video, I want to spend a little bit of time going through some of the details of that bathroom to give you some idea of what it is I did. So again, I took this bathroom and turned it into this, and actually got an extra room on top of that too. So here's what you do. Tear out the old bathroom, get everything out of there, tear it down to the studs, draw little diagrams on the floor, figure out where things are going to go, tear out the floors, re-plumb it, figure out how to plumb, take care of that, cut out the floor so that you can lower the shower down, frame it up, add another room, get things moved around here, waterproof the heck out of it even though you're using treated plywood. Learn how to tile, learn how to do a shower stall, do the shower, learn how to install a shower fixture, do that, spend 4 years making stained glass, do the window, and well, let's pick it up there. I was really going for sort of a Chris Craft mahogany boat kind of feel here, and you can see I've spaced these boards and they're just loosely placed in here. And they're backlit so that with a daylight LED, so actually a lot of people think that it's sunshine or a skylight above there during the day because it lets in that quality of light. So I can peel back a few of these boards and show you how I did this. See that I used these stainless steel, I don't even know what they are, I found them at a surplus store. They're stainless steel posts and they're nails that go through them, and those provide about a 1/4 inch gap between each board. You can see I have some additional storage up above here, and then these are the lights that are installed up above the ceiling. So good ventilation is really important in every bathroom, and in this one I have a 220 volt, 240 volt fan, exhaust fan that I've installed in here that I love. I went with the 240 volt exhaust fan. Well, one, because I found it at a surplus or at a liquidation store for next to nothing. It was, I don't know, part of some water processing plant thing. But I also had the power right here because this on-demand water heater has two 240 volt lines, heavy duty lines going to it. Here's the back side of that, and you can see there's two big, like 2-gauge wires that run up to power the heating elements in that. The on-demand water heater is critical to having a tiny bathroom because instead of, and I'll show you a picture here of, there used to be a room for the water heater. Now the water heater resides on the wall in between the studs. People tend to hate these because they're finicky. You need to know how to use an on-demand water heater. You can't use it like you would if you had a giant tank full of hot water. Those elements take a few seconds to warm up, so you can't turn the water on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. You won't ever get any hot water. You need to know how to use it. Well, as a consequence of people not understanding them, you can find these used all the time. I think this was probably about $1,000 water heater that I got for, I think, $220 on eBay. And I got another one in my garage because I find them all the time. This is a tiny bathroom. It's 8 feet from the front to the back, and it's less than 4 feet side to side. I actually cut the size of the bathroom in half from what it was before because it was such an inefficient use of space. I'll show you how I made it feel plenty big enough even though I made it smaller. One of the things I thought about while I was designing and building this is sort of overlapping spaces. Now, you're required by code to have a certain amount of space next to the toilet and in front of the toilet. By removing any sort of curb or glass partition to the shower, I was able to essentially open up that space and leave lots of room next to the toilet. And I'll give you a glimpse of the other half that used to be a bathroom that I turned into a work room, laundry room, and it's kind of a mess now, but I'm going to show you anyways. So I was able to add an entire another room to put wash and a workbench in there. But with the door in front of the toilet, normally you can leave it closed, but code requires a certain amount of space in between there. So technically, with the door open, I get a lot of additional space. Yes, it may be odd having an entranceway to the cabin into the bathroom, right into the toilet, but it's not our main entranceway. Main entrance, you come in over here. So instead of 2x6s framing the floor under the shower, I've got a bunch of 2x4s, more of them, so they support that weight. I haven't had any problem with that. The curb that you see for showers, I don't think has anything to do with containing water. It's just you have to build that up, and that's just the profile of the shower pan. So when you drop it down, you lose the curb, and you don't ever have any trouble with water coming out. I mean, obviously, some will splash out, some will get in here. Before I tiled in here, I waterproofed everything, and I even cut slots along the subfloor under here in case any water were to ever get under there. It'll just drain to under the cabin, which is just dirt. In the shower, I use these subway tiles. They're kind of long, and I put them vertically to sort of give, I don't know, a better up and down feel to it. Kind of like that. Here's my idea. Don't put the drain in the middle of the shower where you have to stand on it all the time. There's no reason for that. You can put it there, you can put it there, you can put it there. I put it over there, and then I'm not standing on top of the drain the whole time. This window is, of course, a complete copy of a Matisse church window, stained glass, that I believe is in Chicago or New York right now. I copied it and changed the proportions in order to match 1 inch thick glass window that I got from a salvage store. And then so it's that thick window on the outside, then the stained glass is installed there, and then there's another pane of glass over the top of that. This window, which is backlit, so it's my nightlight at night, probably took me 4 years to make. It was tough. Lighting is critical. You should always think about lighting. This, like I said, has this ambient light that I usually leave on during the day because I like the feel of it, along with the natural light coming in through there. As this is a cabin built in about 1952, it's got a mid-century feel, and this cheap stuff I got from Menards, it's kind of got sort of an atomic look to it, which I like, and so far it's worked out pretty well. And the nice thing about this thing is it's got a lot of storage space. It's got 3 big drawers to put stuff. Again, when you're dealing with a very small space, you got to really maximize your storage. That's why I've got storage there. I've got some deep storage up behind here. The light fixture up here, which I really like, is an authentic, 1960s kind of light fixture. Again, I don't understand bathrooms that don't have dimmers. Who wants to go into a bathroom and your only choice is blinding light? You need good light, but you don't want it at night. So this is one place I still use incandescent light and dimmers on everything. One of the nice things about a tiny cabin or a tiny house is that you're working with tiny spaces. And so, you can get by pretty cheap. These tiles, these are Menards tiles that were quite inexpensive. I think these Subway tiles were really cheap, like, I don't know, maybe $2 a piece. The penny tiles down there were what I spent like $10 a square foot on, God forbid, but you know, there's only about 10 square feet there. For God's sake, spend the money and get a nice faucet and shower system. I never regret spending an extra $100 on this Grua shower faucet. Works great. If you want to commit to a tiny cabin, then you really have to maximize your space. This bathroom was essentially twice as big as it is now when I got this cabin. I cut it in half, and it is so much more functional than it used to be. And so I have a bathroom now, and I have a laundry room instead of just having an awful bathroom.